Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. First things first, the Premier League loan system remains a blot on the competition's integrity. Clubs, supposedly rival clubs, should not be allowed to lend each other players. Teams are fielding players who have two paymasters from the same league. How can that be right? Teams are fielding players who cannot play in every match, who cannot play against certain opponents. How can that be right? So, I am one of the very, very few who think Aston Villa should not have been allowed to borrow Marcus Rashford. Buy him? Yes. Borrow him? No. But it is what it is. It is not going to change, and Rashford will, quite probably, make his Aston Villa debut against Spurs in the FA Cup. And after that, he will have little more than 3 months to take what really could be a final chance to get his career back on the path to greatness. And by greatness, I just mean great player. Not greatness in a Messi sense, not greatness in a Ronaldo sense, just a great player, because that is what he should be. What has gone wrong? Well, some people would point to the 5-year, £325,000 a week contract he signed in the summer of 2023, which coincided with a prolonged dip in his effectiveness. But who, since then, has been anything like effective in a Manchester United squad that has become unfit for purpose? Other people make sweeping assumptions based on the odd story of Rashford's social activities. If he has time off, is he not allowed to go and watch a basketball match in New York? And so what if you don't like his jacket? Perhaps there has been the odd time when he has not been ultra-professional, but that would be true of many Premier League players. They are only human. But of course, the criticism of his actual performances on the pitch brings valid negativity, even allowing for him being in a mediocre team. Rashford's impact over the past season and a half has been so limited that it is easy to forget what a fantastic footballer he is. And what a fine footballer he has been for both club and country. Rashford, 27, is well and truly out of the international picture right now, but this is someone who has won 60 caps and scored 17 England goals. That ratio might not sound overly impressive, but of those 60 caps, only 24 have been starts. They say, but he does not work hard enough. But there is still room in elite football for game changers who are not human dynamos. Whether that will be the case at Villa under Unai Emery remains to be seen. Whether or not the goodwill generated by the wonderful work Rashford did away from the pitch is still there, in significant amounts, is not clear. Like it or not, the way of the world is that people tend not to look far behind a player's personal wealth. But Rashford was a player whose journey and talent was rightly celebrated, even beyond the boundaries of club loyalty. And it would be nice to see him playing with a smile on his face again. Villa should not be allowed to borrow him, but let's hope they do him good. Roy Keane has called out Ruben Amorim's decision to play new signing Patrick Dorgu at right wing-back. The young Dane, recently signed from Lecce in an initial £25.2 million deal plus £4.2 million in add-ons, was being dubbed as the solution to United's problems at left wing-back. That's why eyebrows were raised when United's starting lineup came to light, though Amorim has since defended his decision by claiming Dorgu is also comfortable on the right. Keane wasn't happy though, and exploded during ITV's coverage of the clash, stating, "There is a lack of belief, lack of confidence. They've brought new players in. You're thinking he's Dorgu going to play in his position, and he's playing right wing-back. You think, is that unfair on players? And you look at the urgency for the goal Leicester opener, it's given away cheaply, people not staying with their runners. I just look at it from United's point of view and think, my goodness, is this what it's come to?" To make matters worse, Dorgu was then hooked at half-time just minutes after the completion of Keane's rant. But the changes and introductions of Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee, who struck the leveller, helped flip the game on its head as Harry Maguire netted a controversial late winner. Speaking after the game, Amorim justified his shock usage of Dorgu. The Portuguese boss said, "He played a lot of times for Lecce on the right and the left. That's one of the characteristics we pay a lot of attention to. He was a little bit anxious with the first touch of the ball. This is a different league for him, different speed of the game, but he did well. He has pace, he has strength, and he is going to improve a lot. We as a team need to play better to help the new guy perform at the right level. If you have seen the history of Dorgu for his last team, he played a lot of games on the right, and we have to have wingers who can play both sides like Diogo Dalot. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim put his players through their paces with some post-match training after their 2-1 win over Leicester in the FA Cup. United narrowly beat the Foxes thanks to a controversial late goal from Harry Maguire in added time, but their performance came in for plenty of criticism, and Amorim decided to hold a full training session for some members of the squad after the game. The likes of Rasmus Højlund, who played the full 90 minutes against Leicester, and unused substitute Toby Collier appeared to be among the group getting extra training. In a post on social media, United confirmed it was a full training session rather than a regular post-match warm-down. Working for the badge, they wrote. Some of the United squad completed a full training session at Old Trafford following the full-time whistle on Friday. United's busy schedule means Amorim has not had as much time on the training ground as he would have liked since replacing Erik ten Hag back in November, and Lenny Yoro recently shed some light on the Portuguese's demands in training. I have a good relationship with Ruben Amorim, Yoro said on the Rio Ferdinand Presence podcast, presented by Qatar Airways. I just try to do what he asks me to do. He's big on communication with the players because he played at a top level. He's been at a lot of clubs, so he knows your feelings when you're not playing or when you have a bad game. He knows how to speak with you, and that's really important for me. In training, it's really, I would say, hard, but it's important. We have a lot of training, and for him, training is really important because you play the game like you train. The most important thing is to be really good in training. If you are not working, if you are lazy in training, he won't like you, he'll kill you. It's normal because, you play like you train. He's really strict on this because to win games and trophies, you need to be disciplined outside the pitch. You need to be punctual. United will be back in action next Sunday when they face Ange Postecoglou's struggling Spurs side at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with Amorim hoping for a much improved performance from his players. Harry Maguire has agreed with Ruben Amorim after the Manchester United boss claimed his players are more nervous playing at home than away. Amorim stated last month that United get really anxious when playing at Old Trafford after a run of poor form that saw them lose 4 of their last 5 home games after conceding first in all of them. And Maguire echoed Amorim's comments after he scored a controversial late winner as United beat Leicester 2-1 at Old Trafford in the 4th round of the FA Cup on Friday. They were forced to come from behind after Bobby de Cordova-Reid gave the Foxes a first-half lead. Oshua Zirkzee scored an equaliser for United in the second half before Maguire headed home a controversial late winner in added time. However, United were booed by their own fans at half-time after a display that Roy Keane branded shocking, and Maguire admitted the Red Devils have lost some confidence at home. "We can't be starting games like that at Old Trafford," he insisted. The run of results at Old Trafford has been so poor that I think now the boys have lost maybe that little confidence of playing in front of the crowd. It's something we need to address because if we want to be a successful team, we've got to make it hard for teams to come here and play, and the first half wasn't good. We've spoken about the home form. Obviously, it's not something we can put our finger on. Otherwise, we'd change it. I think it's nights like tonight when you grind that win out and it gives you that little bit of belief, but I think at the moment, once we've conceded the first goal, have we turned a game around this season? We've got to stop conceding that first goal. If you're not playing your free-flowing football and the performances aren't great, you've just got to keep yourself at 0-0 for as long as you can, because you know we have talent in the team that can change the momentum of the game. But at the moment, whenever we come under a tiny bit of pressure, we concede a goal, and that's not good enough. Maguire also revealed Amorim remained calm as he delivered his team talk at half-time, having previously damaged a dressing room television after United were beaten 3-1 by Brighton last month. He was calm, Maguire said of Amorim. No TV. He was speaking tactics at half-time, and he said we need to get the next goal and we'll go on to win the game, and he was proven right. He had the belief we could change the tempo of the game, and we did change the tempo of the game. He brought Ghana's Alejandro Garnacho on, who added a lot more pace to our attack.